I was joined earlier by Dali Yang. He's a professor in the Department of Political Science at the University of Chicago.
What Mr. Xi, President Xi emphasized, however, is very explicit in saying that actually it's sort of not just laying out very grandiose goals, but really at this point in mitigating differences, in trying to manage them. And I think that is itself an expression of concern that there are factors in U.S.-China relations that are affecting this relationship. In fact, he himself made a special gesture by showing up, delivering the speech personally. And at the same time, he's also recognizing that, I think actually implicitly, that the relations are going through a transition, not only because of what's happening in the Shangri-La dialogue in Singapore with regard to South China Sea, but more importantly also because of the election, the intense election season in the United States and how that might affect U.S.-China relations.
Do you think we could see some constructive dialogue about the South China Sea, some of the other places where these two countries disagree?
Well, I think the South China Sea is, at this point, the most significant issue between the two sides. The two sides are really talking very differently. In the Chinese case, being very assertive, while on the side of the U.S. also being very proactive in really trying to stare back at China in certain ways. On most other issues, in fact, the two sides have been able to work, and in fact, including on the issue of Taiwan, but especially on North Korea, on Iran, on Iraq, on Afghanistan, and so on. And of course, both sides could point to the climate treaty recently concluded in Paris as a signature deal that the two sides have taken very significant leadership positions. So I think actually in this particular case, the US and China can point to how they have been able to work together, but also recognizing that there may be storm clouds ahead.
So do you think there can be anything done to ensure that there is some foundation when there is a leadership change in the United States? Is there something they can do to project the next 5-10 years?
President Xi is very upfront and very much to the point, is to manage the differences, to try to strike deals. And of course, the Chinese side is looking forward, potentially, for example, if there is the President Trump who is willing to do deals, maybe that's where they can talk together. But they also really know something about Secretary Clinton. If she becomes the president, of course, the Chinese side have dealt with incoming President Clinton in the past. So they are actually really preparing the ground for that. But of course, there is a sense of anxiety about what might happen. Of course, either a President Clinton or President Trump could be unsettling. And of course, we do know, looking back at US-China relations over the last 20 years or so in particular, every incoming new president has started on a little bit of a rocky start with the Chinese side.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, cctv-america.com.